Watch this segue. Check it out.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Sometimes you think, I'm not ready to be a dad. I couldn't be a dad because I'm not a grown-up.
Yeah.
I was feeling like that when we watched The X-Files because I was on your
I see where
X-Files
you're going.
thing because I was watching David Duchovny and it's like Fox Mulder was 29 years old in season 1 of X-Files. And I thought, he's a grown-up. Like, I'm 41 and he's just still a grown-up to me. Speaking of X-Files and X-Files podcasts and conspiracy theories, there's a new podcast in town, Kumail.
Well done, Dan.
That is also about those things, but it's not based on the fictional. It's based on the fiction that people either believe in or don't that happens in real life. It's called Real Life Sci-Fi. Did I get that title right? Yeah. And it's by our very old Channel 101 friends, our comrades. Let's have them out here to talk about their new podcast, Willy Roberts and Wade Randolph. I could have done that better.
No, that was fucking perfect.
Kind of weak, I think.
I don't know why well, see, there you go. You guys have a Scully Mulder relationship on the show, right? Wade's the skeptic.
I never seen X-Files.
What?
But,
That sucks.
I'm the Smolder?
Scully.
The Smolder, yes, the Smolder.
You know the names.
Scully's
I
smart,
honestly
though.
don't.
You don't know Scully and Mulder?
No.
And you're doing a conspiracy theory podcast?
It's not about your fucking bullshit. It's about real stuff.
They're clapping for me.
I don't think they are.
They just want to fight. They want the loose change to hit the floor. So, so is it just conspiracy theories, or is it like also?
Well, it's eventually going to be everything.
Because you'll run out.
It's real life sci-fi, like you know.
Bigfoot, ghosts, UFOs.
Is the focus always on whether it's real or not?
Wait,
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
Willy.
Well, here's the thing: if you talk to anybody who is into conspiracy theories, there's too much information, and so like in order for it to be yes or no is hard because it's like you could just ramble on, and a lot of things don't connect.
So if I were to say Hollow Earth, which I've always been fascinated by,
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
like Hollow Earth to me,
Well,
Well,
Willy-
Willy,
there's a lot of-
believes everything he reads.
Willie does.
Yeah, and I don't.
I give everything I read a chance. Like to me, Hollow Earth thing is an interdimensional thing, not like a.
How do you mean?
Like if you read about the guy who said he was flying his plane and then he was over North Pole and then there was a hole opening and he went through it.
Which is like
it's
you
like
can't-
Zaxxon.
Yeah. To me, that
how do
was
you fly a
maybe
plane?
he hit a.
You don't fly a plane through a hole.
Interdimensional portal that was caused by some magnetic field disruption.
Right. Is that the story? He was flying over the North Pole,
And then where did he end
And
up?
he saw a hole and flew into it.
Yeah, where did he end up?
There was one guy who did
You're
that. yeah.
right. If you're a
He
pilot
said
and you see a hole, don't fly into the hole.
That's what I'm saying.
You're a
How
terrible
do you turn
pilot.
around? How do you turn around? You
I
know
think
it's
the first
gonna end.
rule of piloting is don't fly into the hole.
Avoid holes. They can only take place in ground, which is like the number one no-no in air travel.
It's the natural enemy of air travel. Underground.
Ground is cancer in air flight.
Like this particular guy's story, he flew into the middle of the earth, and then the beings there landed his plane, and then he met them.
And then the beings in Hollow Earth, because I've read that the Hollow Earth, like it's like it starts with just the idea that much like the flat Earth people, like it just starts with the question, how do we know the Earth's not hollow? What do you got? Pictures of a solid Earth? And then so some people it branches off into this tree, right? Where it's like some people think, oh, that's where the Nazis went.
Yeah.
And then some people go, that's where the aliens are. And then some people are like, Nazis are aliens. Which I think is amazing. It's fun. I think it's fun that there are people out there who in the present day are like, weaving mythology out of the things that are really happening.
My thing is I just like to talk about all that because normally you bring something up and it's like, oh, that was kind of interesting, this shitty article I found on the internet. I want to talk to somebody about it. And then you just get laughed at and it's like, well, I won't talk to anybody about this. And
and you want to have the fun with it, but then other people are like, well, that's dangerous because it was fun to think that you could burn women at the stake in the 1500s. Like it was fun to think leeches were curing people. You need to be skeptical to protect people.
What kind of topics do you guys talk about? Just say the topics, and I know for sure if they're real or not.
All right.
I actually have the information.
He's going to give you a yes or a no.
I'll tell you a yes or a no. So ask me. Tell me. Say it.
Chemtrails?
Chemtrails?
I don't know what that is.
What is that? Tell us what chemtrails are.
Chemtrails is like... now, there's a bunch of different reasons for it or conspiracy theories about it, but that there is an additive in jet fuel that is being released over everywhere.
It's fake.
Making us docile.
Yeah, well, one of them is to make us docile. One of them
they say it's like a mind control thing.
Okay, that's not true. That one's not
like
true.
One of them is that like
that one's lies.
No, Camille's right.
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah.
What's the next one?
Like what? But like one of those is like, well, they're trying to block out some of the sun to protect us from overheating. You know, like
why would they not tell us if that's what they're doing?
Because everyone would say no.
Everyone would say no. Don't block out the sun to keep.
Well,
us
here's
from...
the thing. Like
I know it's not working because we can see the fucking sun. It's out there every day.
If you look at history, though, the government has done tests on people without their permission forever.
Oh yeah, no, I mean conspiracy. That's the cool thing about conspiracy theories is like it's an interesting line between like there are some people who talk in fantastical terms, and have a flexible grip on logic that will abuse it. So the scientific mind says, well, we have to protect the underlings from this kind of stuff. You have to be skeptical and use scientific method. But however, the healthy thing about paranoia is that you should never trust the government. And it always turns out every 30 years that they were doing fucked up shit 30 years ago. Yeah. Always.
And even though I do hate the word the government, because like even within
That's
our
two
government,
words.
there's 20 secret groups that don't work together.
What an asshole.
Yeah, I know. Me and Adam said it together, and I immediately knew I knew I was on the wrong side.
Company.
I'm sorry, Willy.
All right. Ghosts.
Ghosts not real. Fake.
What about ghost dads?
Take it easy, Adam.
Fluoridating the water.
What do you guys think of ghosts? What's your take on it?
We haven't covered it yet. I could be convinced, maybe.
You could be convinced.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you think?
I don't think that dead people keep being people. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like light bounces off of solid things.
But if Jeff Davis was here, he
could
say, tell you like 4 ghost stories.
Yeah, he has a lot of ghost stories.
And they're great.
I do believe, I am willing to believe. I definitely, because to me, skepticism loses its value at the point where it starts to become dogmatic, where you start to assume that the things you don't know, you know everything about. So I do believe that it's perfectly possible that there's like. That because we're evolved from apes that our only biological purpose is to recognize a good banana from a bad one. And we've graduated into this world where we're starting to understand things. It's totally possible that there's a lot more ways to perceive things than we actually...
You kind of bring up a good point, though, because there's no ape ghosts. Nobody ever...
Well, that was my biggest argument.
There was an X-Files about animal ghosts, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You gotta watch this show.
Great episode.
Like, you don't find, like... You'd think that there'd be, like, Native American ghosts in the free country, or in the open
But they
land,
never...
and
Native
be,
Americans,
like,
I don't want to be
caveman
racist, but they never die with unfinished business. They use the whole life. I can explain that. They're famous for it. It's not racism if it's a good stereotype.
No, it's good. It's totally good.
I just riffed that. Isn't that awesome?
No.
I'm a really
So
good
good.
racist.
You're like a genius.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It felt like you'd written that at home. It was real good racism. It was really good.
It was a good, quick defense.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just connect dots with races and stereotypes. No, I could take credit for it all night. Let's go on.
So, but for you, Dan, for you to be open to the idea of ghosts, don't you have to change pretty fundamental things about how you see
Well,
the
no, because I
world?
don't automatically assume that when we talk about ghosts, what I think of when I think about ghosts is I think about when you're in your apartment brushing your teeth and you turn and you go, "What fuck?" There's a fucking dude with a 10-speed bike over his shoulder walking through my living room.
That's a fuck of a ghost.
Like that could be explained by a lot of things that don't have to do with there being a heaven or people dying and their skin falling away and them just like going, "I love 10 speeds and I'm gonna go spread the word because I gotta solve my murder." It doesn't. It could be like a psychic smudge. It could be that person
Like residual energy or something
that person fell in love with a woman and every morning when he hoisted his 10-speed over his shoulder to go to work in that apartment, his heart became filled with this emotional energy that over time the way a key on your keyboard can become melted at a if you work in a data entry lab, like the home row is melted from friction of hitting the same button over the same amount of time.
And it's just brought out by you brushing your teeth.
No, it's just it's human perception. I don't know. It's this is assuming that there's some fields that we haven't discovered yet that we can perceive. One of them is light bouncing into our retina, and then maybe some of it is like somehow this would get into psychic energy that this guy had this experience. He would eat a nut bar and he'd throw his bike over his shoulder, and it was like somehow for him it was like a big deal. It was like he did it over and over again, or he did it one day and it was like he achieved self-actualization at that moment, or he was really angry or whatever, but there's like some weird like fingerprint on the film. And then you turn as you're brushing your teeth and you see that guy's feelings, you see his self-image. He left it there in your apartment. You go, ah!
Yeah, some kind of like residual energy echo that we'll just never know about, or... Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I'm open to most things, but I
don't think I would ever like wake up and there would be a guy sitting on my bed going like hey,
yeah, listen,
I'm Napoleon. I buried my hat at McDonald's.
Yeah,
and then you go.
He's like, I have unfinished business. Wait, do we have to take over Russia now? 'Cause
all these cabinets should be open. All these cabinets should be open.
You just gotta find my hat. It's under the McDonald's. Go find it. You could make a lot of money on that hat.
But if when you get into, I just started, I time. Okay, time, fellas. It's symmetrical. Yes. Like we're experiencing it one moment after another, but there's all this. I mean, I need a couple more degrees and a few more IQ points before I can really understand this or explain it. But smart people will tell you that time unfolds
time
in
is
all
a flat
directions.
Circle? Is that what you're...
Well, that anything you can describe that happens in time, first of all, time is a variable and blah, blah, blah. So when your cabinet doors are open, they've all come open overnight. Yeah, maybe some lady that lived in your apartment like opened them in 1938, and like somehow like time got shuffled but yeah, I just don't believe in like helpful ghosts like helping you, like talking to you, going like, "Hey, I'm dead," and you're like, "You're dead, get out of here," and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so dead." For some reason, I draw the line at like just dialogue.
Yeah.
It just starts to get corny to me.
No, that's a huge leap from just like a smudge on the film to like unfinished business. That's a big leap. I get it. I agree.
Well, like to me, unfinished business is it can be so like the unfinished business you have right now and you're all alive is like can be so
Sounds like a
minuscule
romantic comedy that we're
and
writing.
Stupid.
Unfinished business. I just remembered something really funny. I was talking because I did this media conference in the beautiful Rocky Mountains of Canada, where it was staying in this hotel that was absolutely shining. Like all the good parts of The Shining, like all the beautiful parts, none of the dead Scatman Crothers or anything. And I kept saying, I was like, oh yeah, this place is definitely haunted. If any place is haunted, that's the air coming out of the show? Okay.
I think it's a smudge on the film. There was a woman who used to dry her hair here 30 years ago.
I was out on a patio at a party with Aaron, and it was like, oh yeah, that place is probably haunted. And this guy was like, oh yeah, have you seen Toby? Or like some guy's name, or like who's Toby? He's like, oh, the bellman, yeah, he definitely people see him there at the hotel. Like, oh yeah, what does he do? It's like, oh, he's the bellman. He just he'll take your luggage, and it's like I thought it was so funny, the idea of a Canadian
Have you ever
ghost.
lost a bag? Because that's Toby. He's taking
He's a
your
Canadian
bags.
ghost. His unfinished business is just his job. It's just
He never experienced
Oh,
love.
geez, you know what? I forgot to thank Mr. Henderson in 314. I should really tell him good job.
Very sad. That's very sad. I love the idea of a ghost who just is like, oh God, I still have to do the terrible job I had.
And we were falling over ourselves because I'm sure the guy walked away like he's fucking American assholes. But like I was like, does he say
They'll
boo?
see.
How does he
They'll
pronounce?
see.
My big question is how does a Canadian ghost pronounce boo? All right.
What are you doing?
There were a couple false starts on that joke. It would have really killed. All right, so boo.
You don't belong here.
That's good. That's something.
But I was on the first episode of your podcast, and we talked about UFOs,
Yeah,
or whether they're real or not.
we were focusing more on the moon landing being faked.
Oh yeah, the moon landing being fake, right?
Because the moon, according to you, is a metal base.
A metal
It
base?
could be.
Well, when things hit it, it sounds like a bell. And none of the craters are deeper than the others? Or something?
When things hit it, it sounds like a bell?
They blew up. They put a bomb on the moon, and they said some people claim that it rang like a bell.
Wait, when did they put a
There's-
bomb on the moon? I
there's
didn't get
so
to
much-
vote for this.
Yeah,
There's so much to buy into this story.
Like, here's the thing.
So many barriers.
I don't care what you believe about the moon. It's weird that we bombed the moon, and like most people don't know about it. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Wait,
Yeah.
what? When did we?
yeah.
We were looking for water? is
Yeah,
what
but
he
we
said?
didn't tell anybody we were looking for water. They're like, just send this bomb out to the moon.
But was it a nuke? Was it a nuke, or was it
No,
just
no,
a...
it's just a bomb.
Just a
It's
regular
just like a
bomb?
It was
dirty
a regular bomb.
It was just like a bundle of TNT with an alarm clock on it. Said with the NASA logo. There's that whole thing about
Bugs
us
Bunny
being
dropped
warned
it off.
off the moon. Of conspiracy theorists love that. The idea that we haven't been actually, done a moon mission since forever, and that the idea is that we got there, and then an alien said, "Get out of here!
Yeah.
You get out of my moon!"
You damn kids.
You got the big one
Moon
right there.
exploration.
Yeah, yours is bigger than ours. Let me have this one.
What do you need to
There's
be
just
here
like
for?
8 of us here, and we got the moon. You got the big one.
But what are the conspiracy theories about the moon? You said that the other side of the moon, the dark side of the moon, has like a base on it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Oh, that's funny. But okay, I'll get into this real quick. I've been looking for UFOs my whole life, and I've never seen them. And then one year, I saw like 30 all at once. And I called someone from across town. They saw some
like
of
a
them.
fleet of them.
Yeah.
I like that there's more to this story that has nothing to do with you having seen 30 UFOs. How did you see 30 UFOs? Explain that part.
I like to look at the sky. I'm fascinated by planes.
They're
and
just silver things in the sky.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're aliens.
You're just saying they're unidentified flying
Yeah.
objects. 30 of them.
And they look like stars in the middle of the day. It's like they're hard to focus on. You look at the blue sky and you got like eye boogers and weird like eye snakes, and you can't focus. You don't know what your focal length is. And then, so like, I'll see one, I'll look away, and it'll be hard to find, but I'll always be with people and be like, hey, look at that. What do you think it is? And we'll look at it for like a half hour, and it doesn't do anything that I recognize, you know. And I saw 30 one day, and this is the first time I saw it. I thought an alien invasion was happening. I took pictures, I took video, I was drawing, like, some of them were moving and some of them weren't. There were red ones and green ones. And then I watched the skies for the rest of the day. They had changed the flight patterns for Burbank and LAX.
But that's just bullshit.
Really?
You don't know that. You should look up online the flight patterns.
Wait, what?
Well, no, I look at the flight patterns all the time. Like when the wind changes,
You
can
just
see
watch
where
the skies and then you go,
Yeah.
oh, there's no planes.
But you can see where they redirected to.
Wait, there was one day of your life where you thought an alien invasion was imminent?
Yeah.
Did we already know each other then?
Yeah.
Why didn't you fucking text me?
Well, here's the thing.
If you think an alien invasion, I want to be on the list of people. They're like, hey,
kinda like-
shit's going down, Kamel, get
I
on
was
the
sitting
ground.
there going like, is this
Just fucking text me, dude. I'll be the one to judge. You
You're
just
gonna
text me.
you're gonna get a text every other
You're
day.
gonna get a lot of texts. This guy sees 30 a day.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's gonna be like a
drew
bad
out-
newsletter you can't unsubscribe from.
I drew out a map of the ones that were stationary and the ones that were moving, and to me it was like, oh, this looks like a constellation, and I'll
Could
go
other
look out
people
at
see
night.
him too?
Oh yeah. I've been with at least 30 people, and I've been like, what's that?
Is
What do you
30
think?
just a number?
It's only 30.
Is that the highest you can count?
I could say 10 names right now off the top of my head.
You were with, yeah,
Wait.
Obama, Margaret Thatcher.
Jane, Jen. I mean, I've been with like groups of people.
And people have seen these things.
Yeah.
These armadas.
I mean, I've seen them, but not in Armada. I've seen like one or two, and they're just silver things.
But
Just
here's my
silver
thing.
orbs.
Okay, I saw these things, and then I started telling people because I'm like, to me, it was like, this is kind of fucking weird. I should tell everyone I know.
Didn't tell me.
And
I guess I'm not
but
one
like-
of the people.
I even told Wade at the first party I went to. I don't know if you remember, but like you just kind of laughed it off, and like nobody was listening to me, and I was like, this is weird because I saw something that to me, I'm not saying they're aliens. I'm just saying this was life changing to me because there were things in the sky that I didn't know what they were, and it made me think. And everyone was basically laughing or not believing it, and it made me go like, well, everybody that has a weird story that people laugh at, like. I want to listen to their story a little more.
Yeah. Every sci-fi movie, your character is the good guy, but in life, you're the crazy guy.
Your only recourse is to write sci-fi movies. Do you guys have people on the show that are like experts, like ufologists?
Not yet. I want to get there though.
They had me on. They're like, you believe in UFOs? I was like, it's possible.
And he's
Thanks.
seen all the X-Files.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I would talk to you guys all night, but my sluggishness means we got a train schedule to keep. It's real life sci-fi. It's on Feral Audio.
Yeah.
I think it launches Monday. It's going to be on
Which
Feral
is
Audio
today.
on Monday, which is today, I guess, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, it'll be today when most people hear about
This
it.
is a crazy audience, by the way, because they're willing to not watch the Game of Thrones finale.
Most of them watch it on the East Coast feed.
Oh, you've already seen it? Okay, don't tell
How
me
was
anything.
it?
Good, real good.
They they DVR. No, they're very yeah. It's we have a relationship here. These are good.
Yeah, it's
good,
insane.
good people.
I understand the NBA Finals. You guys can miss that. But Game of Thrones, shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Wade Randolph, Willie Roberts,
Thanks
for
for
coming
having
by.
us.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on.
Real life sci-fi. Hey, just put it down.